Uber and Lyft are playing a game of chicken with one another, and the only question is, which one blinks first?
Xbox, Twitter, Uber,
Postmates,
Netflix, MoviePass,
Google,
eBay,
DoorDash,
Apple, Amazon, Airbnb,
The Apptrepreneur. Hey everyone, this is Kevin the Apptrepreneur. If this is your first time here and you happen to enjoy this video and you want to see more like it, please do me a favor. Click that subscribe button, ring that bell notification. We upload on a near daily basis and you will want to be notified of when videos go up. So anyway, let's talk about Uber and Lyft and their lack of profits. We all know that Uber and Lyft are not profitable. They have not been profitable for years. Many people think it was a mistake that they went public before they could actually get their money situations worked out. Reality is, they had no choice. They could no longer raise money outside of actually going public. They need to go public to keep staying afloat. That has not worked out so well though, and it's time to actually really seriously look at the one thing that can help them, both them and us, when you stop and think about it, and that's raising prices. The question is, who raises their prices first? This Business Insider article, which is really good by the way, and I will link to it below, you have to be like a Prime member to read the whole thing, just to let you know. Uber and Lyft know they have to raise prices in order to turn a profit. Neither of them wants to make the first move. This is another example of these companies, as I've been so elegantly putting it, slitting their own throat. They got into a pricing war neither one of them could hope to win. I think Travis Kalanick, when he started getting into it with Lyft, really honestly thought he could outlower Lyft. I think he got a little taste of power when lowering Uber rates actually caused Sidecar to go under. When Sidecar went under, and they pretty much blamed Uber directly for that, I bet yet Kalanick had that moment where he was thinking to himself, he's like, I beat them. It worked. Well, let's go get Lyft next. It's kind of like that situation when you're reading that Super Pumped book, where he had that meeting with Tim Cook. He was caught violating Apple's store policies and was told basically to stop him, or the app would be delisted. Now, he did it. He decided to play nice at that point. However, that had the opposite effect that it should have had. He, instead of looking at and realizing maybe he should like scale it back a little bit, he realized he just beat Tim Cook, and he can keep going again and again. He can go after bigger fish. He was unstoppable at that point. And so I think that persuaded, continued into the price cuts, where they just kept lowering and lowering and lowering. But now we got to the point where it's like Lyft is not going anywhere. It's very clear they're not going anywhere. And you can't lower anymore, so the only thing you can do to make money is to raise the price. The problem is we have a situation now, because passengers are not loyal to Uber or Lyft. Neither are drivers for that matter. If they rose the price, well, whoever raises the price has like two problems. First of all, they will have more drivers trying to drive for them, and thus, too much drivers out there to meet the demand. But you'll also have passengers going to the other side. Like, I think that, in theory, drivers should be able to use that to their advantage, but who knows? So anyway, let's look at this article and find out what they have to say about it. So, by the way, look, Uber's at an all-time low, $27.68. Oh, my poor stock. I'm losing money on that. So, Uber and later Lyft got consumers around the world hooked on ride-hailing with heavily subsidized rides. You can thank SoftBank, Saudi Arabia, and plenty of other venture capital investors for that. But things are different now. Following lackluster initial public offerings this year, both companies are under tremendous pressure from investors to turn a profit. The only way to get there, besides big job cuts, is convincing the public to pay what these rides actually cost to provide. That's the hard part. Quote, "We took a little bit of risk for the first time and led the market in two small, modest price increases over the last couple quarters," Logan Green, Lyft's chief executive, said at a conference hosted by Credit Suisse last week. "For the most part, those were matched by the competition," he said, without naming names, but heavily implying Uber, because, who else would it be? "But when it came to ending the coupons that hit customers' inboxes and apps on a seemingly weekly basis in some markets, things were different. We sort of attempted to do the same thing in terms of couponing and lead in creating a more rational market. We have not seen that match, so we're going to change our stance and we'll sort of revert to a match and follow position." So here's the thing what they're talking about, because I actually am on the end of that. We do take Lyft and Uber to Disneyland. We always try to tip the drivers in cash when we can. And I've just been noticing Lyft has been sending a lot of 25% off coupons. It's what they've been doing. And I think it's because, yeah, that would make sense. They're raising the prices, but they're giving coupons. So it's like, okay, we're raising the prices, but, you know, up until this date, you're getting this much off. So it seems like you're getting a good deal. And they're trying to get people accustomed to that. The problem is, of course, you know, Uber can do that too. And Uber also does provide coupons. In fact, I've noticed that when Lyft coupons and Uber coupons tend to begin. And so there you have it. The shocked market sending Lyft shares plunging as much as 6% in trading from the remarks through the end of the week. It all comes down to what industry watchers call rationalization. In short, the oft-quoted word as it relates to ride-hailing simply means a switch away from heavily subsidized rides into a sustainable business model that can survive a recession and appease anxious investors. Until then, it's the world's strangest game of chicken. There you go. Even Wall Street analysts don't know who might do it first, but agree that rationalization has to happen at some point. The U.S. ride-hailing market is essentially a duopoly, and we believe both companies are highly motivated to behave rationally, as both have publicly stated a timeline for profitability. By his data, Uber has done more couponing than Lyft over the past few weeks, but has pulled back recently. Although we should continue to see occasional promotions, we believe the market's overall direction will be rational and reflect economic realities. We think permanent, heavy discounting is unsustainable and not the likely scenario. So yes, your Uber ride will be going up at some point in time. Uber, for its part, hasn't publicly discussed couponing much. The company did not respond to a request for comment on the story. However, rationalization has increasingly been a topic of conversation by executives. Nelson Chai, Uber's chief financial officer, said in November it's thanks to Lyft specifically that the rationalization here has happened faster than previously assumed. They're boogie in the sand, he said at the conference hosted by RBC in London. Okay. In the meantime, market share levels appear to have leveled by some measures, giving analysts confidence that rationality could come next. Well, you would hope so, but maybe not. Uber and Lyft appear to have settled into a 60-40% share split, which we expect should be supportive of near-term margin. 40%, wow, 40%. Wow. Just amazing. Absolutely. I remember when it was 20%. Improvement as driven by moderating driver bonuses and rider subsidies to the benefit of take rate. Yeah, so basically what happens here is the drivers get less bonuses, less incentives, and the riders pay more money. Basically, nobody wins except Uber and Lyft. So, here's the thing. One of them has to raise prices. It's that simple. Who's it going to be? We don't know. It's going to be a tough one. I personally think Uber might raise the prices first because they're the ones who are in the news more negatively. Well, actually, no, maybe not. Maybe for that reason, Lyft would be the first to raise the prices because they're not in the news as negatively. People still think kind of highly of them. If Uber raised the prices, it would kill their stock. If Lyft raised their prices, it would hurt the stock, but they'd probably rebound, especially if Uber matched them pretty shortly afterwards. So it's going to be interesting to see where this goes. In the meantime, what says you? Who do you think is going to blink first? I would love to know. Comment below, like, favorite, share, subscribe. If you enjoy my videos, consider becoming a Patreon member. It's totally optional, of course, but even as little as $1 a month goes a long way to helping the channel run smoothly. If gas prices are getting just a little down, check out the Get Upside app below. It's totally free, but you get cash back of every gas purchase you make. If you want more content from me, check out Kevin T. Rodriguez, the Apptrepreneur Vlogs, and Autograph Hound. And finally, if you want to talk to me or other Uber drivers in person, check us out the Apptrepreneur Hangouts on Facebook. And as always, flame responsibly. Have a good one.